How are we all doing? Hello, my name is Sarah Cordiner. So I am a qualified course creation specialist. I've been working in the course creation industry for well over a decade. I've got over 20,000 students in 146 countries and hold the record for being the youngest university director in Australian history. So with running my own successful online education business, as well as being a postgraduate qualified education professional, I have come here today to give you the 10 steps for creating your very own profitable online course. So this recording will stay up. I'm going to speak super fast because we've got a lot to get through. And the aim of this presentation is to give you the overview of the 10 stages of the journey for creating your online course, if that's something that you're planning on doing. So grab yourself a pen and paper. I'm going to use my trusty old school whiteboard here because we can't share screens and have the face up at the same time at the moment, just using the normal Facebook Live methodology. So with no further ado, here we go. We're going to go through the 10 steps of creating your online course. Now, step number 1 for creating your online course is to pick the perfect topic. So there's a lot of different things that you would consider when it comes to picking a topic. Now, ideally, that topic is going to be something that directly connects to your business. What is your area of expertise? What are the products and services that you sell? And will this online course connect to that so that your course isn't something that you build in isolation to everything in the rest of your business? I'm going to talk about pricing later as one of the steps, but there are a couple of ways to figure out what your perfect course topic is for you. Now, one little exercise I like to get people to do is to draw 3 columns on your piece of paper and write in column 1, do, in column 2, good at, sorry, I put the wrong word, love, good at, and experience. So you can't see this very well, so I have such a small whiteboard here. So your topic has to be something that you absolutely love. It has to be something that you are good at. And it has to be something that you have experience in. So the first thing I want you to do is in each of those columns, now write down 20 things that you love, 20 things that you're good at, 20 things that you have experience in. Now the experience thing is a little bit interesting because quite often your life experiences can be an incredible source for you to create an online course about. Some people think that they have to have a PhD qualification in something in order to teach it. Or it has to be an actual topic in terms of like a subject that you would see at school or a subject that's a category on blog posts, for instance. But one of the things I like to get people to do, and there is more to this bit, so bear with me, is to do your lifeline. And this is where your experience one comes in. So do your lifeline and draw a big line up on your wall and write down below your lifeline everything that has been a challenging experience for you in your life. Perhaps you've been through some kind of challenge, through some kind of trauma, through some kind of negative experience. And this is the day that you were born, and this is now today. And down here, it's going to be everything that's been challenging and difficult. Up here is everything that is positive, every success you've ever had, every achievement that you've ever accumulated in your life. And these experiences will tell you and give you clues as to what it is that you could teach. If there are people in the world who haven't yet got through things, through experiences, through situations in their lives that you have got through, and whether you realize it or not at this stage, there were definitely strategies that you would have used to get through that experience. When you can extrapolate what those strategies were, then you can create a course around those strategies and help other people who are in that challenging time or who want that success or achievement that you got get there too, fast-tracked with your methodology. So if you're stuck on what your experiences are, do that lifeline exercise there to help you find out what your experiences are. But it can also be formal experience. It can be work experience. It can be this lifeline experience. It can be training that you've done, qualifications that you have, formal or informal. But just brain dump at this particular stage, okay? So 20 things that you love, write them down in that column. Then write down 20 things that you are good at, and then 20 things that you have experience in. The next thing you're going to do, just trying to find another color here, is once you've written down each of those 20 things in each of these columns, the next thing I want you to do is now go through and mark them out of 10 based on how much do you love it, how good are you at it, and how much experience do you have in this. So where 10 is really, really love it and 1 is don't really love it, 10 is absolutely brilliant at this, and 10 is have lots and lots of experience. So you're going to go through and rate them all. Some might be 1s, some might be 10s, some might be 8s, 5s, whatever. But you're going to go through 10 out of 10. And basically, all of your ones that are 10 out of 10 out of 10, you're going to highlight those things. And what you're going to do at the end is then pick all of the things out that you've marked 10 out of 10 across the things that you love, you're good at, and you have experience in. And this will now start giving you clues as to what topic is going to be the absolute best topic for you in terms of keeping your passion alive about the topic and in terms of really having the best foundation in place for you to go out and establish yourself with a credibility as an authority in that particular space. So there's more around creating topics, but I'm going to go in this very lightly at the moment because we've got a lot to get through. So that's step number 1 for creating your online course, is to pick the perfect topic. So there's a little exercise that you can do there. Now, the second tip for a step for creating your online course is hands up, who wants to create an online course that isn't going to sell? Didn't think so. You want to make sure now that you've got this topic idea that it is a topic that is going to sell. So therefore a topic that has market demand. Okay, so we call this stage market testing or market demand. Make sure it has market demand. Okay, how do we know if our online course idea has market demand? Well, the first thing is people are talking about it. And the second thing is they are asking questions about it. And the third thing is it trending? Okay, so there's 3 things we're looking for: talking, questions, and trending. If our topic is being talked about, people are asking lots of questions about it, and it's trending, it's a good sign that you have market demand. So how do you check this? Couple of quick tips. There is a lot more strategies that I teach, but some real quick things that you can go and do today. Now, if you want to see if people are asking questions about it, one of the best things to do is simply go to Google and have a look at some of these tools that basically pull together and curate all of the questions that people are asking on Google. So one of my favorite websites for this is one called answerthepublic.com. In the comments now, answerthepublic.com. Now, this is an absolutely amazing website. It's completely free of charge, and it basically allows you to go into the website, type in your keyword for your topic for your online course and hit enter, and it will bring up every single question that people are currently typing into Google with that keyword in there. It is awesome. So it will be, how to, ways to, what, when, where, and every question that's coming up. So you know that that's what people are currently typing into Google. Well, they must want to know that thing. Those are the questions that are being asked. It's a good sign that you have market demand. Another way is to go into YouTube and Google, type in your keyword topic, and again the drop down of the pre-fill will actually pop up and show you whether people are asking questions about that or not. But one of my favorite ways, one of the easiest ways to do this too, is to simply go into all of the Facebook groups that your audience are in, the people who are likely to take your online course, and inside every Facebook group is a secondary search box. So I'm not talking about the search box that's at the top. When you go inside a Facebook group, over on the left-hand side is a little search bar. You type in the keyword for your online course topic in that internal group search box, hit enter, and it will filter out all of the comments in that group where that keyword was used. Now, if your topic is coming up over and over and over again, there's loads and loads of results in your topic in that Facebook group, and there's lots of questions about it. Again, this is a really, really good sign that people are talking about it, there are questions being asked about it, and therefore it is a topic that's going to have high market demand. Now, in terms of trending, they're just some really quick tips. There are lots more strategies for checking this. But for trending, another quick thing that you can go and do today is go onto Google and type in Google Trends. So just type in Google Trends and it will take you to this free platform that Google has called Google Trends. You type in your keyword for your online course. Make sure you change the date range to all of time, which I think at the moment is 2004 to present, because you want to have the biggest date range available to do this research. You hit enter and you will see from Google a chart then produced. And the chart shows whether or not that topic search term entries are going up or going down over time. Now, of course, if the topic is going up, great sign that you have market demand. If the topic is going down, then of course you have a sign that there potentially might not be market demand for your online course and you might need to do a little bit more research or change your keywords or something like that. Now, if the chart on Google Trends comes up and it's kind of up and down, but straight in general over time, that is also a really good sign that you have high market demand. Those kinds of topics are what are called evergreen topics. So for instance, this is going to be where you have topics like leadership, like love, like happiness, like making money. Over time, they are always evergreen popular topics. So that's just 3 little things you can do to check whether or not you have market demand. Now, I'm just checking to see if we have any questions coming up here. It doesn't look like I've got any that I can see at the moment. If you do have questions at any point, please feel free to put them in the comments area. And I will absolutely go back and answer all of those after the call. All right. Step number 3 for creating your online course is the money. Okay. This bit is all about pricing and your business model. So pricing is really a big question that a lot of people who are creating online courses ask. And the biggest piece of advice I can give here that I mentioned at the beginning is do not create your course in isolation from the rest of your business. If you are going into the market of creating your own online courses, it's absolutely critical that you consider how and what other products and services you're going to put before it and after it. If you do that, you are going to maximize the profitability of this entire activity. So what must you have? You must have something that is free. Okay, so I call this the lead magnet course. A free lead magnet course is a course that would be very, very short, maybe your top 3 to 5 tips in something. It could be a 5-day challenge. It's something that's very easy for you to do. It basically answers the top questions that your audience are asking and allows you to give the most helpful responses possible. So that's a lead magnet course, and this course should be free. The whole point of it is that you are attracting people who are interested in that topic, and you are getting a database of email addresses of your target audience, because then you can upsell them to what I call the Kickstarter course, which is a quick get practical results, about an hour-long type program where you take people through the A to Z in your topic and get them very, very fast results. So in that, we start moving up to what I call kind of the information. Hi, Denise, how are you? Information and implementation stage. Okay, so this is where you might have a course that's more about implementing. So this stage is going to be information. Okay, so this is just pure info. Implementing is when you might have what I call the Kickstarter program, and you're going to be looking at charging anything from, it could be, $9 up to, let's say, your three figures there, depending what your topic is, depending on how much content you go into. Now, the next thing you need to have is what I call transformation. Okay, so this is when you go from your 3 figures to up to your 4 figures. Your transformation is when you are quite literally changing somebody's life, their business, their mindset, their results. There has to be measurable results in some way from when they started to when they finished. Now, this is where your kind of authority flagship programs will come in. This is when you have your kind of your big mama program that really shows that you are the absolute expert in this space. This is the type of program that you would be creating if you want to be seen as a leader or an authority in your particular industry. But tip with online course creation: never, ever, ever jump straight to this stage. You do need to have your free lead magnet first in order to get people in, to get their feedback, to find out what they want next. You then build it out into a Kickstarter program, which is your low ticket offer, your low price offer. Then you take those people up to your transformation programs. Now, this could also be maybe a coaching program as well. Now, from here, your pricing now increases where you have your done with you. So I call it done with you, or your done for you. So done for you services. So your done with you services, this could be, for instance, if you have some kind of special retreat that you take people out to. Maybe you're going to be doing a retreat where you take them away when we're allowed back out of our houses again. And they go away and they get some massive transformation with you present, holding their hand the whole way through that experience. Maybe it's some kind of immersion boot camp or something like that. That is going to be your top end ticket price. Now, of course, you also have there, as I said, the done for you. So this is maybe where you have done for you services. My equivalent of this is I help create people's courses for them, set up their online school for them. So what is it that you advise and consult about or teach about or do? What would be your ultimate done for you package? And this is the top end of your pricing. So when you're creating your online courses, always start with the smallest thing first when you're doing this process for the first time. Start with your free lead magnet course and then work your way up to your higher ticket options as you go, because the people who are going through these programs actually help you create exactly what it is that they need by asking you questions like, oh, thanks for that tip. How does that apply to me? Do you have a download for this? Do you have a checklist for this? What would you do in this particular situation? So this is a really, really great way for you to let your students basically build your program for them. And that's a really good method to use. So those are the first 3 steps to creating your online course. Now let's move on. Just checking we've got any questions. Not yet. All right. So step number 4 for creating your online course is to create your learning outcomes. Now, this sounds a bit boring, but this is really important for a number of reasons. Learning outcomes is: what will your students be able to do? What will they know? And how will they feel by the end of your course? Okay, so that's do, know, and feel. So the first thing you want to do is, on your piece of paper, just write down maybe 2 or 3 bullet points for each one. What skills, what practical, demonstrable skills will they have? These are things that they could literally show you and you could watch them do. That's a doing. What knowledge will they gain? What new concepts will they have grasped? What kind of new ideas or perspectives will they acquire as a result of the training? And what feelings will they no longer have by the end of your program? Or will they have, will they feel more confident about something, more ambitious, more excited? Will they feel less fearful, less worried, less stressed, whatever it might be? So once you've written all these down in bullet point form, and there is a more detailed way to go about doing this later on, which we won't go into now, but this is really important because 2 reasons why you should do this now. Now, note we're on step 4. We haven't even created content yet. You do this first because, 1, it's going to help you create the course without getting overwhelmed. When you write down exactly what they're going to be able to do, know, and feel, you know that you should only be putting content into the course that directly achieves one of those learning outcomes. If a piece of content you're looking at doesn't do that, save it for later. It's as simple as that. The other reason why is later on, once your course is finished, you're going to have to create your sales page. Your learning outcomes, what the student's going to get by the end of their course, is exactly what is going to sell your course. When students know exactly what they're getting, they're more likely to sign up. So that's the next thing you're going to do. All right, step number 5 for creating your online course is now creating your course content. This is the bit that most people jump straight to when they first start creating a course. This is not something you do until you're halfway through the program. So this is now gathering up all of your course content. This is everything that you want to teach in your online course. So there's a number of different ways that you can do this. Now, one of the first things I love to do is the trusty old post-it note technique. Okay, so the first thing before you do anything, before you start overwhelming yourself by looking in books and doing research and all that stuff, is simply grab yourself a pile of post-it notes. And think of your knowledge, think of your course as quite literally a collection of tips. That's it, just tips. And you're going to write one tip per post-it note. That's it. So tip one, just give yourself a couple of words. You're only allowed a post-it note because it stops you trying to go into research and writing up mode, and just start sticking them all over the wall. So tip one, stick it there. Tip two, just brain dump. Every single tip that comes out of your mind is going to be written on a post-it note. Now, once you've done that, you can then go out and help trigger your memory and pull the archives up by then going out and doing some research. So one of the things that I like to do, or advise course creators to do, is go onto Google and simply type in ways to and then your topic. And you get these listicle articles come up. And listicles basically are, like 21 ways to be happy or 5 ways to get X result. You can look through those listicles, and it's really good for triggering your memory because you're like, oh yeah, I know that. I've got my own way of explaining that. Oh yeah, I've got my own methodology for that. Now, of course, that is not about copying or duplicating anyone else's work. It's purely a mind trigger of the stuff you already know and can explain in your own unique way. So you're going to grab all your course content by simply putting one tip on one post-it note and brain dumping them all everywhere you can before you then go and look at anything else to inspire you. What you're also going to do then is look at the post-it notes on the wall, go back to your learning outcomes, and if any of those post-it notes do not directly align to the learning outcomes, you're going to take the post-it note off the wall and put it in a pile for another course. Okay, save it for a different course, save it for later. So you should now have a pile of post-it notes up on the wall that are tips that you can give. Now, here is a clue when it comes to your filming content, which we'll talk about in a moment. Each one of those tips is going to be a lesson. How cool is that? So this takes us nicely on to step number 6 for creating your online course, which is quite simply to order your lessons and your modules, putting your lessons and your modules in order. So now you should have this big colorful wall of post-it notes, and we're looking beautiful. And you're going to now take a look at those and see if there is a pattern developing. Perhaps there are little families or groups of tips that feel like they naturally fit together. Perhaps they naturally are all the same kind of theme. So you're going to start putting those little families together, and those little families of tips are going to be your modules. Okay, now your modules do not have to have the same amount of tips in them each. Some modules might only have 2 tips. Some modules might have 8 tips. That is totally okay. This is about delivering the learning outcomes, not filling it with fluff so that the modules look equal. Okay, your modules take as long or as short to deliver the learning outcomes as it takes, and ideally straight to the point, the better. So once you've got all of your little families, you're then going to decide which order your families go into. Now, I personally just like to line all of my post-it notes up on the wall into little sections then like this. So it's just to show you how I do it. So once I've got all my little families of post-it notes, quite simply, this column here is going to be module 1. This one will be module 2. So it goes down like this, module 3, module 4, and then this is tip 1, tip 2, tip 3, and you get the point. So now you just start moving all your post-it notes around on the wall so that you have your modules, and then you start putting the tips in the order that you think is the most logical flow. So on your wall, you should, by the end of step 6 exercise, have this kind of structure laid out so that you can really easily now go and get this course put together. All right, step number 7 for creating your online course is to then choose your delivery method. Okay, your delivery method. It's been such a long time I've written on a board, so you've got to excuse my writing. So what do we mean by delivery method? So where your content is the what you are teaching, the delivery method is quite simply how you are going to give it to your learner, how it's going to be transmitted from your brain into their beautiful brains. So you can do this in a number of different ways, but video by far is the absolutely most effective way going. So some of you I know are going to be horrified to hear that. I'm sorry, but it's true. Human beings just love looking at other human beings. They love to look into the eyes of the person that's sharing their expertise with them. It doesn't come naturally. I'm afraid to say nobody falls out of the womb knowing how to present to camera. It can absolutely only be developed with practice by taking a deep breath and just getting it done. When you first do this, there is nothing more awkward than staring down the barrel of a lens and not having any human feedback or human interaction. But I promise you, the more you do it, the more you get used to it, the more comfortable it becomes. Go and practice doing some live streams to your own groups or on your own Facebook pages. Do what I did, sit in the park with your phone sellotaped to a tree and just talk at it. Absolutely religiously. Just put slots in your calendar where every day you go for a walk out into the park and you go and talk to your camera and you watch yourself back afterwards. You are your own best teacher when it comes to learning your own presenting style and how you want to come across to your audience. So that's a really, really helpful tip. So you can do video in a number of different ways. Now, one type of video is the talking head video, and that's quite literally like this live stream is. It's when you have your webcam on or you're recording on your mobile phone. By the way, both of those methods are absolutely fine. And talking head is just fantastic because humans get to see your face and engage with you, albeit through the camera lens. Other methods are you going to have PDFs? Are you going to have quizzes? Are you going to have downloads? Are you going to have audio files? These are all the different delivery methods that you're going to be thinking about. Now, I do get people at this stage to turn all of their post-it notes, transfer them all into a formal course plan. Now, you will see in the link in the comments, I have a free course creation starter kit. And inside that free course creation starter kit is the downloadable template for creating your course plan. So I won't go into the detail of how to do that in this live stream, but the tip here is to move all of your tips into a formal course plan document. And then next to each lesson, you're going to write what delivery method you're going to use. So tip 1 will be a talking head video. Tip 2 will be a PDF download. Tip 3 will be a screencasting video. That's when you record your computer screen if you're showing people how to do things. A really cheap and easy way to do that is quite simply with Zoom. Zoom is free. You can record your screen and turn your webcam on so you have your face and your screen being recorded all at the same time. And it might be PowerPoint slides up on your screen. It doesn't necessarily have to be you demoing stuff. So there's a few very quick tips to throw at you when it comes to that. Okay, so 8 is now the filming and the editing. The bit that most people freak out about. Guys, when it comes to filming your online courses, if you've got a mobile phone that was made within the last 2 years, that is perfectly sufficient. Mobile phones now have incredible quality, and that is all you need. So I've got myself a little tripod with a selfie ring light on it. Stick your phone on the tripod. I'm trying to see if I've got a little microphone here to show you. I haven't to hand, but you can get those selfie light rings on a tripod for less than $50 on Amazon. If you want a link, let me know and I'll link you to the one that I use. Also, you can then get a really cheap lapel microphone that simply plugs into your mobile phone, and then a little tiny microphone that clips onto your shirt. They are less than $20. They are so affordable now. I mean, I know that not everyone has that kind of money to spend, but once you've got these courses created, it will help your business. So it is worth the investment if you can find yourself, $70 to just buy those 2 pieces of equipment. That is all you need to produce perfectly great quality video with good sound that you can start putting out to the world straight away. And look, this is a key point here. You have to get version 1 out to the world. It's absolutely critical that you don't sit down and wait for perfection. Don't sit there and think, I haven't got the perfect videos yet. I haven't got the perfect Hollywood production. I don't have my name glittering along the bottom of the screen. I'm in the spare room that my kid's probably going to run in the minute. True story. People worry about getting the first sets of videos out there. Look, you're always going to have version 1. Version 1 of anything, hopefully, will be something that one day you look back at and go, oh, that was embarrassing. If you're putting off getting your course out to the world because you want it to be perfect, all you are doing is delaying version 1, right? I always say if the blog posts I put out don't have spelling mistakes in them, or the books that I publish don't have spelling mistakes in them, well, then I published them too late. I launched them too late. Just go for it. So a question, so yes, I will provide a link that I use with the selfie light ring too. All right, so filming and editing. In terms of editing, I use a piece of software called Camtasia. I will just write that down in the comments there. So Camtasia is just one piece of many tools that are out there that are like it. It's where you can remove green screens like I've got in the background there. It's where you can add the flashy twinkly words that pop up. It's where you can cut and chop up your videos if you've made mistakes that you want to cut out. So you can do that yourself using a tool like Camtasia. They are very straightforward to learn. If you just don't want to do any of that at all, consider outsourcing your editing. You could quite simply go to upwork.com and find people who could do that editing for you. Or of course, in this incredible community of women helping women entrepreneurs, there are bound to be editors in this group. Put a shout out and find a fellow female entrepreneur. And I'm sure there's someone here who could do your editing for you. All right, so we're nearly coming to the end of the live call now. Step number 9 for creating your online course is the technology. All right, so this is your tech and more importantly, your online school. All right, so where do you actually put your online courses? You've done all this work, you've filmed it all. Now what do you do? How do you sell it? How do you actually get it in the hands of people? Where do you put all these videos? Now, there are 3 main ways to actually sell your online courses. One is online course marketplaces. Now, these are platforms like Udemy. You may have heard of that. It's basically like an Amazon or a supermarket for online courses. The important thing you need to know about this is in a supermarket, you might sell your bread in the supermarket, but the supermarket own the customers. They're the supermarket's customers, not yours, if you're selling bread. Also, the supermarket can decide what price the bread is being sold at. So they will discount your bread. They can move your bread to any shelf that they want to. Basically, they are completely in charge. So if online course marketplaces, the same applies. You do not get the student's contact details. You do not get to decide what price your course is going to be sold for. And they might sell your courses for just a few dollars. So why would you put your courses on there? Well, because Udemy alone has over 30 million students. That's why. I mean, why wouldn't you want your bread on that shelf, right? So the piece of information I give for that, the tip I give for that is make sure you put your smaller lead magnet courses, your smaller low price lead magnet courses on platforms like that so that you're using it as an opportunity to get exposure so that people can find you, so that you can get that feedback, but also so that it's not something that you're worried about your top end high paid content being given away for free. So the second place that you can sell your online courses are what are called learning management systems. And this is these are the platforms that I personally recommend. My board's falling over here. Learning management systems. Now, learning management systems are basically platforms that have been purposely designed for the purpose of selling online courses. So you may have heard of some of these. Learning management systems include Thinkific, Teachable, Kajabi, Newsendler. There are so many more out there. They are just an example of some of them. And it's a bit like, if you own a WordPress website, WordPress is owned by WordPress. The platform itself is owned by WordPress, but you buy it and it becomes yours. So it's a bit like your own boutique store. You get to brand it in your own brand name. You get to change the domain to be your own domain. It's all yours. The students belong to you. Whatever you put on that platform is yours. There's no one there looking at it or telling you what you can or can't put on it. It's like your own website, but for online courses. The other great thing about learning management systems is they have support teams. They have support desks. So if anything breaks or doesn't work, there's a support desk of people that can go and help you. And they've purposely been made to make it simple for anyone to upload their content. And look, guys, it really is that simple. If you can attach something to an email, you're going to be able to figure out how to use these platforms. And people like me have loads of tutorial videos to show you how to do it, okay? So I recommend using a learning management system. Now, the third way to sell these courses is through plugins on your website. So plugins on your website are basically like apps for your website. Now, with those, you do need to be a little bit more techie because you're on your own. You buy the app, you need to set it up yourself, maintain it yourself, do all of the error reports and things yourself as well. Now, they're great. They work really, really well. Very, very powerful. But my recommendation is if you're just starting out, to stick with the LMS, because that is a really easy, fast way with maximum support available to help yourself get online. And with the click of a button, they connect to your email marketing software, to your payment gateways, and make it really, really easy. So you upload your content to those platforms. You simply set the price that you want to sell it for. You press publish, and you have a URL for that course that you simply then share with the world in order to sell it. And that, my dear friends, leads us nicely on to step number 10, which is your launch and marketing. Okay, so there's a number of different ways that you would launch, promote, and sell an online course. And that is a whole other tutorial. I am going to do a completely separate live stream on how to sell your online courses, because it's a massive topic. But the first thing I highly encourage you to do is to just simply get your course out to the world for your first round. Okay, so I call it like a soft launch, which is the first thing that you would do. So let's say you've just uploaded your video content to your learning management system. You've now got the link to your published course. I personally, for the first round, would encourage you to just share that on your own social media pages or your own Facebook group if you've got one, and say to people, hey, I've got this brand new course I've just created. Here is the link to the first version, and I'm going to gift you a discount to the course because I'm looking for feedback. So you can choose what that discount is. I personally like to give like a massive 75% off or something like that when I first launch a course. Why? Because getting people in it is more important than trying to make money from it right now. If you get people in it, you're going to get feedback. That's going to help you iron out the kinks. It's going to help you improve the program, and it helps you get past critically version 1 and move it as fast as possible into version 2. Then you're going to get the testimonials. You're going to get people saying this was great. You're going to have 5-star reviews. You can maybe interview some of those people who were first through the program. And that is then what is going to help you get to the next stage of being able to slowly increase the price over time. So my advice is you're better off discounting at the beginning to just get that first bit of feedback the first time you do this, because that is going to pay off for you later on down the line after getting that feedback back. So then you can start to plan more formal launches after that. Let's say you take it to version 2, 3, or 4. I like to have maybe 2 or 3 groups go through my programs first when they're brand new, so that I can make sure I'm getting all of the feedback possible to improve the program and add in all the things that I hadn't thought of adding that the students have started asking for. Then I'll go in and do a more formal launch. And that is when you can, set an open or enrollment date, set a close date, do a big email list warm up over a period of 6 to 8 weeks where you're getting people excited about this program. You might start doing some paid ads. But the long-term marketing strategy that I use is very much focused on the organic content marketing. It's about being omnipresent, getting yourself on podcasts. It's about blogging. It's about guest blogging. It's about just being present and helping in your marketplace as much as possible. But that is a whole other topic, and I will be doing a live stream very soon on how to launch and market your online course. I do have a YouTube video on the 12 steps for selling your course, which I'll share the link for if you're really excited and just want that information right now. So I'll pop that down. I think I just had a couple of questions there, and it looks like it's been removed. There was a question about step 9. Okay, I've missed that, but if there are any more questions, I hope that has helped. That was an overview of the 10 major stages that you would go through when you're creating an online course, and hopefully you got a little tip for each one as to something you can start doing right now. Now, of course, there is much more to each of these stages. This is just a bird's eye view of what the journey looks like. Now, inside each of these steps is a lot of other smaller tasks that you would do to make sure that your course is going to sell, is going to create complete transformation for your students and have them walking away saying, that was the best course I've ever done. So make sure you grab my free course creation starter kit. The link is in the comments above. It's sarahcordiner.com/starter kit. Now in there are over 11 tutorial videos, a quiz to help you find out what course is right for you. And over the period of the next 10 days from when you sign up, I will send you a video tutorial each day for 10 days with some exercises to help you just move through some of these 10 steps for creating your online course as well. Otherwise, thank you all very much for listening to this live tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. If you have, please do leave a comment, and I will definitely go through the comments over the next few days just to check whether any questions have come up through the replay watches. Otherwise, thank you very much again. Good luck creating your online courses. And remember, people in the world out there do want to know what you know. There are over 6 billion people on planet Earth. People are all at home right now with nothing better to do than focus on self-improvement. So please do not underestimate the power of the message that you have to not just help somebody's life, change somebody's life, but potentially even save somebody's life as well. And the only way you're going to be able to start doing that and improving and getting better and helping more people is to just start today. The second you turn your knowledge into a digitized format like videos, like online courses, is the second you open up a global marketplace for yourself. And that is the second where you help more people and where your business will absolutely grow from it too. So thank you very much again. Don't forget to ask any questions you like. If you want to connect with me personally on Facebook, please do. I welcome your friend requests. And if you've got any more questions in the future about creating online courses, please tag me and I'll be more than happy to come and share my knowledge. Good luck and see you all real soon. Bye.